Madam Chair, I support H.R. 4468, the CARS Act, and I yield the balance of my time. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Gentleman yields back. Further discussion? Are there any amendments? Clarke. Chair recognizes Ms. Clarke for the purposes of offering an amendment.
Madam Chair, I have an amendment at the desk labeled SCD03.
Clerk will report.
Amendment to H.R. 4468 offered by Ms. Clarke. Page 3, after line 12, insert the following. Section 4, certification. This act and the amendments made by this act may not take effect until the date on which the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency certifies that the implementation of this act.
Without objection, the first reading of the bill is dispensed with, and the bill will be open for amendment at any point. I'm sorry. Without objection, the reading of the amendment is dispensed with, and Ms. Clarke is recognized for 5 minutes in support of her amendment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My amendment would simply delay implementation of this bill until the EPA administrator certifies that it will not harm public health. As a reminder to my colleagues, the EPA is required under the Clean Air Act to address air pollution that endangers public health. Setting tailpipe emission standards is one of the clearest and most effective ways to reduce harmful pollutants in the transportation sector. Passenger vehicles alone produce more than 1 million tons of nitrogen oxide emissions and over 33,000 tons of particulate matter pollution every year. These pollutants are linked with tens of thousands of preventable deaths, millions of asthma attacks, and countless cases of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. There is great urgency in reducing these harmful emissions. Reducing these emissions can be life and death in communities disproportionately burdened by environmental pollution. Unfortunately, this bill represents a reckless attempt at kneecapping efforts to save lives and move progress toward a healthy future. And many of my colleagues support the EPA's efforts to finalize strong vehicle emission standards. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I sent a letter with Representative Matsui and 91 of our colleagues calling on the EPA to finalize the strongest feasible standard proposed under its light-duty vehicle emission standards. I'm disappointed that the majority seems intent on attempting to roll back the clock on the progress our nation has made in reducing air pollution and the serious health effects associated with it. A letter sent to the chair and ranking member of this committee from environmental health groups ahead of this markup said this bill would set a dangerous precedent by, quote, injecting politics into rulemakings, end quotes, instead of basing decisions on the, quote, best available science and the need to protect public health, end quote. My amendment simply ensures that the EPA's congressionally mandated mission to protect Americans and our environment from harmful pollution is not undermined by this bill. So I urge my colleagues to support this common sense amendment. And Madam Chair, I yield back. I'm going to yield my time to the gentleman from California.
Thank you for yielding. I just want to thank you for introducing this common sense amendment. I'm going to be voting for this amendment because I am for choice.